Hello, and welcome to Anime Territory. I am your host this week, Benjamin Shabbing, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Johnny Pizza Nakajima Ruha.
Pizza Nakajima. Was that a character's name?
Yeah. That's the pizza delivery assassin.
Oh, that's... Okay, I remember him now. Yeah, that was good.
I feel like you'd fall for that one.
Is a pizza being delivered? I mean, if it was a Little Caesars pizza, I could just maybe be like... Because I have family members that work at the local one, and I'm there all the time. Like, I could see, like, this... They might have just, like, told somebody to drop one off for me or something. I don't know. I could see that. I would fall for that. I'm like, I didn't order pizza, but this is Little Caesars. This makes sense.
Then boom. Bolted
Dead. Yeah, it's a good thing nobody wants to kill me because nobody cares about me.
Mm-hmm.
They have to care about you to want to kill you.
That or they're getting paid a bunch of money.
Yeah, but the people getting paid a bunch of money, the people paying a bunch of money would have to care about me. Either way, somebody cares enough about me to kill me.
You could technically not care about it. You could do it for sport. It'd be weird, but...
It's just like, why would they pick me? Yeah. I wouldn't make a good sport.
Random name generator.
I'm not particularly, I'm nowhere near athletic. Mm-hmm. And I would say, while I'm above average intelligence, it's not like it's the most deadliest game where I'm some sort of super smart out hunt the hunter guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't think I get picked for being hunted. Now, somebody's just like causing domestic terrorism in like a movie theater or something and just shooting willy-nilly. Sure, I might get hit by that. But for somebody to like be an assassin and try to kill me, I don't think they would care. I don't have enough money to really like justify trying to burgle my house. I mean, or I guess rob my house. Burgle implies that there's no actual threat of violence.
Is that what burgle means?
I think so.
Okay. It's
theft without violence.
When does it become? What does it become if there's violence? Robbery. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Today we're talking about Sakamoto Days.
Don't quote me on that.
Sounds about right.
Yes, Ben, I know we're talking about Sakamoto. I know we always say that we're talking about blank. It's like, it's in the episode title.
Nah, you gotta say it, though.
I know, we do have to say it.
So, I guess we'll just go straight into first impressions. What'd you think of the show?
I like this show. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Fun is the word for it.
Yes.
I've got a nitpick. But otherwise, I think it was a lot of fun. And if they'd answer my nitpick, I would be ecstatic. 7.5 is what I'm going to give this one.
All right. I basically agree. I'd give it a straight 7, though.
That's fair.
A little lower. But, yeah.
I just feel like I give 7 is such an easy number to give that I want to differentiate a little bit.
My anime list, 7 is just good. So it's like, yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's an easy number to give.
Mm-hmm. 6 feels mean sometimes, even though 6 means like okay in my anime list rankings. And it's like, but this one is not just okay. This one is good.
Yeah. I mean, did you want to get right into your nitpick or?
I mean, my nitpick is that every once in a while he transforms into muscular, young-looking him as opposed to fat him. And like, I would be fine if they were just like, yeah, I just exercised a lot and so my body fat burned off. I'd be fine with that, except he loses the mustache. You can't tell me that the mustache burned off from like friction or something. That doesn't make any sense.
I think the technical logic is that he's burning so much like calories while fighting that he gets skinny again. Yeah. But you're right. It does not explain the mustache.
If they would somehow explain what happens to the mustache and keep the consistency with, yeah, this is not a magical transformation. This is just him burning a bunch of calories, moving at hypersonic speeds and exerting super strength or whatever, I'd be like, fine. I'll if you can somehow give a satisfying explanation for what happens to the mustache, I'll remove my nitpick. But they haven't done that. They've just been like, look, he's hot again, but there's no mustache. So
So is he really hot if there's no mustache?
Or is that not a mustache that we're looking at? Is that like breadcrumbs or something?
It has to be a mustache, right?
It's gotta be, right?
Right?
It's got a weird art style to it, so it's like
maybe
it's something I just don't recognize.
It could be like a lip fat or something. That wouldn't make any sense.
No, it's gotta be a mustache.
Okay. I don't know. Again, unless he burns so much fat that he loses a mustache.
Some people
causes temporary hair loss or something.
Other people were complaining about this on Reddit, and some people say it becomes that like front lock of hair that he has when he's in short mode, because his hair is always pulled back when he's in fat mode, but then he gets just like one like strand of hair that comes down on one side and then on his forehead when he's in skinny mode. So some people are like, that's where his mustache goes.
How does it get up there?
I don't know. But there's hair there and there's not hair there. So hair move.
Okay. So that was your one nitpick.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to briefly go into the plot / synopsis?
Let's give a premise for this.
Okay.
Premise is the deadliest hitman in the world fell in love with a shopkeeping girl, but in order for them to be together, she made him give up killing. It's just like, everybody deserves to be alive. Like, you can't just end a life. What if that person means something to somebody, you know? Mm-hmm. So he's like, all right, I won't kill people anymore, and I'll lead the quiet life. And he does that for several years. He gets fat. He's got a daughter, and then he gets started being targeted by hitmen. Somebody's put out a bounty on him, and he's just got to fight them off without killing them. Some of them he befriends, and some of them are not worth befriending.
Okay.
I was just checking to make sure that was plugged in all the way. I couldn't quite tell from my way. And we ran into problems with it last time because it wasn't plugged in. But we're well past that now. I should have just left it alone. Anyway, that's the premise of Sakamoto Days.
Okay. So let's go into some characters. So I'm just going to go basically. It's basically an assassinate per episode. They like get in a fight. They resolve the fight. Mm. So we're just going to go through this. And we'll talk about the fights and stuff. First one we technically fight is Shin Asakura.
Yep, Shin is a psychic. He can read people's minds. Though sometimes it can get a little overwhelming if there's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. You want to guess his age? Because it says it on Wikipedia, and I think it's weird. I don't think it quite adds up.
19.
He's 21.
Okay. Do you think he's older than that?
I feel like he should be older than that.
Yeah, but you say that because we're 30.
No, it's because, like, Sakamoto retired to start a family, but his daughter is 6 years old, which means when he retired, Shin would have been 15. Mm-hmm. That just seems a little young. I could be wrong, though.
Did Shin know him as an assassin?
Well, he was like his former protege. He knew Sakamoto during his assassin days.
Shin ran away from his quote-unquote home, the lab that he was raised in. Pretty young, though.
That is true. He could have went straight to there.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it does make sense. It just seems a little young.
Yes, very much so.
Okay. But yeah. Shin is a psychic. He's a former protege of Sakamoto. He's basically assigned to kill him. Because he might be the only one who knows what he looks like now.
No, there's other people. Because there's like the person that can like magically transform into other people or whatever too. There's Hard Boiled or whatever his name is that knows him.
Oh yeah.
So there's people that know him, but not a lot of people that know him.
Okay. But Shin tries to kill him. Sakamoto stops him, and then Shin is just like, you know what? I respect this man. I'm not going to kill him. And then whoever he works for is just like, nah, we're going to kill you now because you're not going to do this. And then Sakamoto saves him. And now Shin works for Sakamoto.
We should mention that he runs a convenience store.
He runs a convenience store. So, what is it? that happens. Next episode, they run into Liu Xiaotang. She's the daughter of a Chinese mob boss. Her parents get killed, and then she's on the run from, I guess, it's either a rival mob boss or like
I think it's somebody else in the family trying to take over for where her parents were and trying to get her out of the picture.
Gotcha.
So yes, rival mob boss, but in the same mob group.
Gotcha.
I would say.
Okay. I didn't know if it was an internal struggle or an external struggle.
I think it was an internal struggle.
Okay. So, yeah.
And they're after whatever's in, like, the vault of treasures that her family has.
Mm-hmm. It's like Richie Rich.
Richie Rich has a vault of family treasures?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're business partners, like, tries to kill Richie Rich's parents to get to the vault. And then they get to the vault, and it's just a bunch of family memorabilia. You never watched Richie Rich?
I feel like I have seen it. I feel like I've seen the Christmas Richie Rich movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe I've seen the original too. That doesn't surprise me. That it's just like, yeah, I saw that twist coming. The real treasure is the family we made along the way.
The family we made.
The Macaulay Culkin that we birthed along the way.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, they save her. They fight two dudes. They didn't have those dudes' names written down. They're just big scary guys.
Mm.
I don't remember what their things were. I think
it's
they just
killed people. Yeah, I remember though. They were like, we're these brothers, and we were like,
yeah, I don't know. They like threw a fridge at them or something.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they say Lou decides to drop the mob family thing and decides to work at
make pork buns for the convenience store. But not every. We don't run into a character every episode that joins the group, which is fine because that would get way too many characters. What is this? The 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you?
The 100 hitmen who really, 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 really respect you? I don't think you could pay that many people. All right, then we get a couple of no names. We get Pizza Nakajima.
Yeah, don't you dare sully Pizza Nakajima's mouth.
What do you mean? Yeah, he tries to kill him. Doesn't work. Then they go to an amusement park. What is it? Shin and Liu take out some janitor assassin.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go on a roller coaster. And then they run into Tatsu. Who's like kind of a poison guy, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They fight him on the roller coaster, I think.
Shin does, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a Shin fight.
Shin gets blinded by this. Eventually, they're fighting him on a stage. And
it's like a power... It's not like Power Rangers, but it's that type of thing.
Yeah, it's...
I think they have a word for it in Japan. But...
They do. And now I can't think of it because I have to think of it. But yeah, it's a... I mean, I could go get my Magic Knights player's handbook for how to play that game because it mentions it there. Super Sojo? No, not Super Sojo. Super Sentai.
Super Sentai.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Anyway, he's blinded, but he uses his psychic powers as Sakamoto tells him how to dodge and punch to fight the guy on stage. And everybody else just thinks it's part of the act.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
I think he's wearing like a mascot costume when he's doing it too.
Yeah, he's wearing a mascot costume.
Mm-hmm. It's like a little bunny.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a big bunny.
Big bunny. Okay, so then they interrogate Tatsu. He's with the JAA, the Japanese Assassins of Associates or something, whatever.
Japanese Assassins Association, whatever.
Japanese Association of Assassins.
Okay.
Gotcha. But Tatsu is just like, I respect you guys. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna after this bounty anymore. We don't see him again, but
yeah,
he gives up on the pursuit. That is when Boiled and Abiguro show up. This is like Leon the Professional.
Who's Leon the Professional?
That's the Jean Reno Natalie Portman movie.
Okay. I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about
they
the trope.
They look like those two characters.
Okay.
One's it's older though. But anyways, Boiled and Abiguro show up. They fight him in a haunted mansion.
Well, yeah. Boiled and Sakamoto. Sakamoto this is the first time we see him go young hot form and lose the mustache. Which how hot can it be if you can't keep the mustache around? Because he's exercising so much, but he has to revert to that form. That's when you know he's like gotten serious. Is when he has to lose all his weight. Boiled's got like explosives, and he calls things hard boiled if he likes them. I don't know. I like this guy. I like hard boiled.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
And the one girl is just like,
is he supposed to be like a knockoff of like those Woo movies? Because there's a hard boiled movie, right?
Maybe.
Because he shoots a bunch of explosive balls. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Anyway, what was the girl's name?
Abiguro.
Her thing was more just that she's like, I don't know, I want to be entertained, so I'll like fight down at your level to the Lou and Shin level, and is impressed with Lou's drunken fist, which Lou is drunk because it's the only way she can get through the haunted house is by taking her courage potion. So we're gonna see Lou do some drunken fists and I guess earn her respect for that. And so she's like, all right, whatever, I had fun. I won't kill you guys, I guess. Or it's Sakamoto's wife. And Hard Boiled is like, thank you for finally remembering me, Sakamoto Senpai. You noticed me. Because that's the other thing. Sakamoto didn't remember him at first, which pissed him off. So they're like, all right, well, we respect you. We'll fuck off for now.
What is it? Sakamoto's wife also finds out about this stuff now. And then this is where they're like officially like, all right, we're not going to kill anybody, but we got to get to the bottom of this because everybody's in danger.
Well, they were already like, I'm not going to kill anybody. Sakamoto's like, look, I'm fighting again. I'm not killing people though.
Until the last episode.
He doesn't kill it. Well, okay. Those...
He doesn't
definitely is like they're doing like snapping neck things. It's like that means that you're killing somebody, but I don't know if Japan or the writer realized like that's a killing move. That's not a knockout move. But I think it's meant to be taken as he's knocking them out. So
by snapping their necks.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we have that fight. After that fight, we have. Oh, I just wrote it down.
Is this when Sniper Bird Boy shows up?
Yes. Sniper Bird Boy.
Heisuke something?
Heisuke Mashimo. He's a broke sniper.
He's got a pet bird. He spends all of his
money on
expensive bird feed for him to the point where he does not have a home. He's sleeping on like a patchwork tent on top of a roof that blows away at some point.
But he's looking for Sakamoto. Doesn't realize Fat Sakamoto is the target.
Yeah, he's pretty dumb, too.
Yeah. They go to a paintball war. During the paintball war, he finds out that Fat Sakamoto is skinny Sakamoto, so he tries to kill him. Doesn't work. But Sakamoto commends him on being a good sniper, and he joins the team, basically.
Sort of. He's like a sub.
Yeah.
He's not always... He doesn't work for them at the convenience store. And they need, like... We need a sniper. Let's call him up. He's an alternate. Let's get him off the bench.
He's a bench player.
He's our number... He's our sixth man.
After that, we go to... This is the lab arc.
Oh, we should mention that he has, like... Not just is he a good sniper, but he, like... does ricochet bullets and can calculate trajectories and stuff like that. So even though he's dumb, he's smart enough to do that. Just not like emotionally or common sense wise smart there.
All right, this is the lab arc. Lou gets mistaken for Shin somehow and is kidnapped by some bad guys.
She gets mistaken for Shin because they know that Shin works at the Sakamoto's thing, and she was wearing Shin's apron because she forgot hers or something. So she had his name tag on.
Gotcha. But she gets kidnapped. Sakamoto and Shin go to some science museum where the secret laboratory is.
Yeah, it's a front for a secret lab where Shin was raised. And the people there are good people, except they've been taken over by more assassins.
Yes. So one of the assassins is Mad Horiguchi. He's the steroids guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got all those
drugs that he's just like,
drugs
I'm gonna
potions and stuff.
Suit myself up and give you a drug that makes you mistake friends for foe.
And makes your left and your right switch and stuff like that.
Yeah. They quickly compensate. It's like where Sakamoto's just like, all right, so I just have to try to hurt Shin. Got it. Easy enough.
While this is happening, we also, after that happens, they fight, Shin fights Seiba, who is the Invisible Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that Ghost in the Shell jacket.
Yeah. Sniper Boy gets called in to help with this fight too. They eventually are able to
mark him
so that he's not invisible anymore. Take him down. Though he gets away.
Mm-hmm.
He survives, which I just have a feeling he's going to come back as as another alternate sort of thing.
I get the feeling he's like you said,
because he was very much just like this is just my job, and I'm kind of lazy at it, but I am competent.
Mm-hmm.
So when the money dried up, he's like, well, I don't have any reason to be here anymore. And then they fight the cyborg Deer Man.
Yeah, Deer Head human weapon. Kashima.
I like him before he takes off the deer head, when he's all like Frankenstein looking, and I don't know, I feel like it's too much.
Yeah.
When he's just deer head guy and he doesn't have all the weird stitches and stuff, I like that better.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he's got all the weird stitches because he's mostly cyborg at this point.
Yes.
So there's also some other people from, what is it, the Order?
Yes, we have Shishiba and Osuragi.
Who, Sakamoto was in the Order before he retired.
Which is basically a super elite
hitman
group of hitmen. Yeah.
That mythical, people don't even know if they're real sort of thing.
They're either the best of the best, or they're the people you call to kill the hitman.
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Thereafter, I think somebody named Slur, right? Is who they're after?
Yes.
Which is Cyborg Deer Man's boss.
Yes.
That guy is gone by the time they get there. They fight Cyborg Deer Man for a little bit, but then eventually pass him off to Sakamoto to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how Sakamoto really wins that. I know he throws him through a train at some point.
It ends in a train fight. I don't know. I think he gets skinny again and just beats him up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
And Sakamoto's just like, oh, good, you're impossible to kill, then I don't have to hold back. Gotcha. That's what that fight was. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody gets away. Again, you get more Shin backstory with him, how he gets his powers.
Yeah, Shin and Liu had sort of a fight at the beginning of this arc too, and they kind of made up in this arc. Which, I don't know, I have that written down as my my all aboard, my ship of the week there. Other than Sakamoto and his wife.
Yeah, that's what my ship would be.
Yeah, but that one's already finished. It's already set sail. This is we're looking at our boats or ships in the shipyard, and it's which one's gonna which one's gonna go the long haul, cross the Atlantic? And it's this Titanic? No, that one's gonna sink. What about this one? Whereas I
mean, that's the most obvious one. That's your best bet. That's yeah, this one's making it, but is it gonna be fun? Probably not.
You mean the Sakamoto and his wife?
No, the Shin and Liu.
Okay. I feel like that's what they're sort of leading up to, but also it's going to be one of those things that is never officially a thing, because that's just how shows are sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the next arc is the Lou arc, right?
No, you're missing the bathhouse.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like an episode.
Yeah.
They go to a bathhouse.
Yeah, but you meet Utaro, who's trying to kill him with the bathhouse.
Don't they? Isn't it? Wait. I think the problem is we watched the bathhouse episode, and then there was another episode that we watched because we were behind by a week.
Oh.
So I was like, is that just one episode? And like the first half is the bathhouse?
It might be that. The bathhouse isn't a whole episode. Because we do the bathhouse, and then they meet the... Wang Lu Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang, that's his name.
Yeah, Wu-Tang.
Okay, that may be why I skipped the bathhouse.
Okay.
There's a former assassin, or former hitman / maybe still current hitman, but he hasn't had some jobs in a while, so he's working in his parents' bathhouse. He's got a bunch of traps rigged up in the bathhouse to like set the sauna room on fire by making it crazy hot and having super jets. And it's just like, Sakamoto is just like, yes.
Perfect.
It's not quite warm enough in here yet. Going to the chilled bath, not quite cold enough.
It's a good bit.
Yeah, it was just a good. Meanwhile, it's Shin's first time in the bathhouse. He's like, this is normal? Shit, I shouldn't be underestimating bathhouses.
I gotta get out of here.
And there's a little kid that sees all the crazy traps, and she's like, Dad, can I do that? And it's like, yep, when you're older, Dad's not paying attention. So that was a good bit, though. Yeah. And then another member of the mafia family that Lou is in, which is Wu-Tang. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Wang Lu. It's not that.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang shows up, and he's like, I'm going to take Lady Wu back to the... I said Lady Wu. Lady Lu back to the... back to the mafia. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to stay a respectful distance away. But I love her. I've got a big crush on her. And they're like, no, we don't really have to, like, listen to you. We won't take you up on your offer of, leaving us alone or whatever. Or he's like, I've got information on who hired you. We could bet on, Lou coming back with me for that information. They're like, yeah, we'll figure it out without him. But Lou's like, no, we'll take the bet because I want to be helpful. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be a hindrance. So then they have to go to a casino and earn more money than him in the casino games. And he's using a special ability called counting cards. It's a signature move. It's like, that's a lot of people know how to do that there, bud. It's not that hard.
I don't know if that's a bit or they're actually trying to make that seem cool.
It's like, counting cards is cool, don't get me wrong, but it's not something that people haven't heard of.
Yeah.
But I guess I have to keep in mind that we may not be the target audience, the target demographic anymore. It's quite possible that these 14-year-old kids have not seen that Hollywood movie about counting cards like I did, which was like 10 years old at this point.
Oh, at least.
So, you know what? Is that called 21?
Yes.
The name of the movie? Okay. Mm-hmm. Is that a good movie? I remember liking it.
I think it's very okay.
I was pretty young, and as I was just starting to get into like good movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Dramas, I guess I should say.
That's when we started watching actual movies.
Yeah, mature dramas. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, the 14-year-olds watching this on Netflix might not.
I guess the only thing is like he could be like super good at it. Like his hit rate is a lot higher just because he has a super brain or whatever. But whatever.
Yeah, he does have a super brain. Shin can't read his thoughts because his forefront thoughts are just millions of calculations at once sort of thing. It overloads Shin. And then they use their powers to rig the games, and he's like fine with that because he's like, yeah, it's fine. Because they don't know how to play the games per se. And also the house is rigging the roulette anyway.
Yeah.
But like, oh, we're going to use this electromagnet to make it land on black. And then Sakamoto flips a coin super fast at the thing to shift it slightly as it's landing so it lands on red. Shin doesn't know how to play poker, but he knows when people are bluffing because he can read their heads. So he knows when to call or do whatever. Then I don't know. Does Lou even bet on anything?
I don't see her doing it.
I don't think she's part of the bet.
Oh, okay.
But she is part of the final game because they're tied at the end. They're like, all right, we'll play a one-on-one game. And they're like, we really don't know how to play any of these games here. Like, well, what do you know how to play? So they play Old Maid.
High stakes game of Old Maid.
Which there was, again, Shin tries to read his mind, gets a bloody nose just trying to read it because it overwhelms his brain. So he's out right away. Wu-Tang immediately takes the Old Maid from Luke. He's like, I've saved my lady from the Old Maid. But he's able to pass it off at some point. Eventually it's just him and Sakamoto. And like Sakamoto does a thing where he swaps the card out real quick. Or no, he looks at one point.
He does the card flip and then Wu-Tang calls him out on it.
Yeah, this is before the other people are out. He like looks at somebody's card super fast, puts it back, and chooses the other card. Which Wu-Tang is like, something just happens. Don't cheat anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, fine. But the real fun thing is when Wu-Tang knows what card Sakamoto's is the Old Maid in Sakamoto's hands. Sakamoto just does not let go of it when he tries to pull it. Which was, and then when he finally does let go, he like switches it in his hand for the other one super fast. So then he draws the wrong card.
Yep. Once that happens, the other mob people are just like, we're done with this guy.
We're fed up with this shit. So Wu-Tang is like, well, I rigged those guns to explode your arms if you fired them. And they're like, oh shit, I guess we shouldn't fire them. And then the rest of Sakamoto and Lou
snap
and
some
Shin
necks,
fight them off,
bash some skulls.
It's like, those guys would definitely be dead, but I guess they're not. He knows how to hold back just enough.
Just enough.
And they're like, all right, you won. We will, I'll leave the lady be. And then I think they're just like, I don't know, but you could be our friend or whatever. They make him make him work at their store for a little bit while he's giving them the information.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's permanently staying at their store.
Yeah, I think he's a part-timer.
He gives them the information. It's like, it's this slur guy.
But
which you sort of already suspected, but now you know for sure. Mm-hmm. And also, we think that some prisoners faked their deaths, or somebody faked these prisoners' deaths. We think Slur faked these notorious prisoners' deaths, and they're loose, and they're going to be coming after you. Mm-hmm. And we get to see those prisoners. One person crushes everything into little balls.
We have Dump, Saw, Apart, and Minimalist are their names. I'm basing this off of the names, though. I know for sure Minimalist is the ball guy.
Yeah.
He turns anything into balls. Tiny balls.
Yep.
I think Apart is the Dismember, based on the name.
Okay.
I did Saw as the Bullets.
You think Saw is the Bullets?
I think so.
Is Saw the lady?
I don't know.
I thought the lady was the Bullets.
Maybe. But then Dump is, I would say, the skin guy. Because he's dumping the skin on the ground.
Well, we'll figure it out eventually.
But one like skins their people, like their victims. The other one riddles them with bullets. The other one dismembers.
And the third one crushes them into a little ball.
Crushes them into little balls.
He crushes the table into a little ball too.
Poor table. It's so much to live for.
Poor friend of the show, Table. Miss that guy.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's just basically a lead up for next season, which comes out July.
Yes, I think that's what they said. So whether it's a season 1, part 2, or next season, who knows? But we'll probably watch the next season, right?
I think so. Yeah, we'll give at least this one a shot. We'll see if it stays like this.
But yeah, 7s from us.
Yep.
You were a regular 7. I was a 7.5, just to elevate it a little bit above the other 7s. But I don't have anything else to say. Do you have anything else to say about this one?
Okay, I got a couple questions for you.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
I wrote down, like, do you think you could kill Sakamoto? Which is obviously no. But, like, hypothetical is, like, how would you try to do it?
How would I try to kill Sakamoto? How would I, Johnny Ruhal,
try to
kill Sakamoto?
There's $1 billion bounty.
Well, I know he's not going to kill me.
Okay.
All right? So, and I know he's stronger and faster than anybody else I know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think conventional killing methods of, attacking are going to work. So we got to like outsmart him. He's pretty smart and he can see things coming from a ways away.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to be extra careful and plan things around him. All right. I think we have to get a building.
Okay.
All right. Rent out a building. Fill it with as many explosives as possible.
Okay.
And we'll hire a team. First of all, we hire a team to fill it with as many explosives as possible. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we hire a second team that has no idea about the explosives or the first team or anything else.
Okay.
Hire this other team to approach the Sakamoto clan. So this other team, they can't have their minds ready to figure out the plan because they don't know the plan. All right.
Okay.
And they're just tasked with some excuse to get them to show up at this building. Maybe they're handing out flyers in the neighborhood of like, hey, new, like restaurant opening
new
up.
New pork bun spot.
We are, free dinners for all the owners of the shops on this street.
Okay.
Something like that, an event where we can get them in the building.
Okay.
All right. Then, again, Shin's not suspecting anything. We've got all the explosives underneath where they cannot be seen.
Okay.
Detonate it from afar once we've confirmed via camera or something that they're in there.
Okay. I think your one, hiccup is going to be Sakamoto's going to find out somehow that there's explosives there.
Yeah. Well, I think we just have to try to be careful about that.
There's cameras there. You know there's cameras and something's up.
Okay, but there's cameras in restaurants.
If you have somebody who's there to give you the signal, Shin's going to read that guy's mind and they're going to figure it out.
I think having security cameras in a facility is not unusual, first and foremost.
Okay.
All right? If those security cameras are being viewed from a mile away, I don't think Shin's going to read their brains.
Okay, I got you.
So that's... Nobody in the restaurant knows the thing. That's the whole thing, is you got to keep the explosives...
Dude, you're killing a lot of people for this.
Yep. You'd ask me how I do it.
Okay.
All right? Not that I had to avoid killing other people. The answer is how I would do it is I just wouldn't do it, all right? But if I absolutely had to, then I'm sorry. I'm probably taking other people out with me.
What if you buy a instant ramen company and just poison all of the ramen? Because Sakamoto's going to eat that ramen.
No, because in order for it to be believable, I've got to distribute it normally, and it's going to come out before he gets his hands on this new ramen item.
That's true.
There's going to be reports.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about poison, but I don't know how I'd get the poison delivered to him. Unless, again, it was a prepared in one place by one team and delivered by another team that has no idea about it.
You would have to, what is it? Sabotage it during the delivery process.
Yes. But the delivery driver must be unaware of what's happening.
Correct.
So maybe
you get
maybe there's maybe the delivery driver is given two orders. One is Sakamoto's, but before Sakamoto's there's another one. When he goes to deliver that other one and he leaves the delivery for Sakamoto's in the truck, that's when we have an operative slip in the poison there, make the swap.
Got it.
That would be another possibility.
Okay.
But again, I'd have to control the company.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to have the delivery driver be unawares, control the situation, and have that second team be far enough away from where Sakamoto's is that there's no chance of somebody seeing the swap or somebody, getting their mind read.
What if we Suicide Squad this? We put a bomb inside the brain of the daughter.
Okay, how are we gonna... First of all, Ben, how are you going to get the daughter?
What?
How are you going to get the daughter?
I don't know. Preschool. I don't know. She goes to school.
I'm
just spitballing here, okay?
I feel like
it's not
to get the daughter, we need to have somebody that the daughter trusts to lure her somewhere.
Brainstorming.
Yeah. So you get the daughter, you put a bomb in the daughter somehow, all right?
Somehow.
Let's just assume...
She doesn't know there's a bomb in her.
Yeah. Okay, now what's step 2?
Detonate the bomb.
When she's hugging Sakamoto?
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be a big enough bomb to kill him.
Well, we'll just have to put a big bomb.
I don't think you can fit a big bomb into that little girl's head.
You're right. It wouldn't have... No, we'd have to do it Dark Knight style. Stomach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But still, I don't think it would be a big enough explosive.
Probably
She
not.
comes home. Why is your body shaped like a nuclear bomb? I don't know. I just drank some grape juice at school and I took a nap. And when I woke up, it was time to go home. And my stomach hurts.
Oh, man, we could just nuke him.
I feel like he'd be able to... Well, that's the other thing is, once the explosion starts, it might be far enough away that he'd be able to run out and get away from it. Like, if we try to drop a nuke, he might be able to get away before the nuke drops. He might be able to see.
He might be able to, like, deflect it with a pin or something.
Yeah, yeah, that's the other thing. So anyway, those are my thoughts.
Okay. First idea is just bomb. Okay.
The first idea, it's all about the separate teams. You got to have the people that are luring him to the place not know anything about the traps in the place.
Gotcha.
And you got to have the place, like the walls, the floor, the ceiling, all lined with enough explosives that there's no getting out of there once the explosive starts, and no indication anywhere near them that the explosion is about to start, which will mean that we kill a bunch of innocent people, including people that we've hired.
All right.
So that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay.
Does that make me a fucked up person? No, because I wouldn't do it.
No, because it's all hypothetical. Okay. Do you have a favorite fight?
Not really.
Okay. I just like the idea of the bathhouse. It's not a fight, but like I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah, that was a good episode to half an episode.
Mm-hmm. If I guess I would pick a fight, I like the boiled fight.
Okay, I like Boiled.
Mm-hmm.
I like the lady that's with Boiled too.
Okay.
There's another ship, Boiled and that lady.
Okay.
It's more. I think it's more of a. She's got a lot of respect for him, but he's like views her as a daughter sort of thing.
Yeah. All right. Last question is: if you were a hitman, would you have a gimmick?
Yeah, obviously.
What was the gimmick?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
Maybe like I trap people in big jars of like vats of peanut butter or something. Trying to think what's quintessential mean. Peanut butter's up there. Okay. Pizza is up there, but pizza was already taken by Pizza Nakajima. Is that that guy's name?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
Would you just like target people with peanut allergies or what?
I'd probably take out people with peanut allergies.
So you'd be like,
because I want to get rid of all the peanut allergies in the world.
Gotcha. So
I would also like expose children at a young age to peanuts, because that's how you develop a peanut allergy, is you don't get exposed to peanuts early enough in life. Or like that can lead to it.
Gotcha.
Because that was a thing, like people would avoid exposing their kids to peanuts, and then that's why we had a whole bunch of peanut allergies. But now they're like, don't do that. I don't know the exact science, don't quote me on that, but
that sounds right, but I don't know how accurate that is.
It'd be weird. I feel like I've never met an adult who has a peanut allergy.
I don't know anybody. My sister doesn't like peanut butter. It's not
well,
an
that's
allergy.
because your sister's a monster. Specifically the Loch Ness Monster.
It's true. She is. Okay. So right now we're spitballing gimmick, something to do with peanut butter.
What would your gimmick be? Yeah, something to do with peanut butter, I guess.
Okay, I don't know. Exploding baseball? That'd be fun, right?
I guess. How much explosives can you get in a baseball?
I don't know. We'll
Are
find
you
out.
pitching it? Because you're going to have to throw it pretty hard and or from pretty far away.
That's true. I think I'd hit them.
Okay, and it's not going to explode
Nope.
whenever you hit it with a bat?
Nope.
Because how does that work?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Is it a timer?
There's a button on the bat.
There's a button.
So I like swing it and then bam. Know what I mean?
I think you'd have to have some sort of. You'd have to figure out the timing. You're like,
yeah.
I press the explode button. The timer starts for 10 seconds. or however many seconds you need to throw it up, swing, hit it. You got to get good at swinging and hitting it right away, too.
I could do that.
And then, placing it.
I'm good at throwing and hitting. I can do that.
Can you place it, though? Can you be accurate
with
it?
That is a different story. That I'd have to get good at. But I know how to throw and hit.
You'd also have to be try to figure out if it's time-based. You're going to either have to be a set distance away and or somehow adjust your power with each swing so that it reaches your destination when it implodes. Or adjust the timing depending on how far out it is, too. Seems like there's just a lot of variables here that... Unless the other option is you have to have the switch be a pressure on just one part of the baseball, and you have to make sure that you always hit the other side of the baseball, so that tricky. That there's no spin on it, or that there's enough spin on it that you hit when it hits the person, it's got the pressure on it too. I'm thinking
more timer based.
I think me slipping peanut butter into meals of people with peanut allergies is a lot more attainable than your explosive baseballs that you're hitting with a bat.
A niche
client. That's fine. You don't hire me to kill other people.
It's
you hire me to kill peanut allergy
1,000 targets are going to have a peanut allergy.
I'm just I'm good at looking like a waiter and just putting a little bit of peanut butter in their salads. I don't know. Okay.
They're like the people from Horrible Bosses. They're trying to kill the boss because he has a peanut allergy, so they put peanuts in his shampoo.
Yeah, that they should have called me. I'd have done it for them. I'm an expert. Obviously, they weren't, because I've seen that movie, and I don't think they actually kill any of their bosses.
No.
I think they expose and get dirt on some of their bosses. That's the big thing.
They have sex with one of the bosses, and then they get the other boss to unintentionally kill the other boss.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
They get Kevin Spacey to kill Colin Farrell.
Should I rewatch
Jason
Horrible
Sudeikis
Bosses?
has sex with Jennifer Aniston.
Should I rewatch Horrible Bosses? They made a second one. Did I ever watch the second one?
I know I did.
Okay.
I don't know if you were there or not. I don't remember.
I feel like there was a line I remember where somebody's like, "You're not good people. You keep going back to trying to kill people. You're not good." I remember that being a thing.
That's probably in the second one. They probably go back to Jamie Foxx's character.
Yeah. I just don't know if I saw that in a trailer or if I watched the second movie.
I don't know. Anyways.
I feel like I watched the second movie.
Got anything else to say about Sakamoto Days?
I don't think I have anything else to say about Sakamoto Days. So
okay. Well, thanks for listening. We are on basically any podcast service. We're on YouTube, Anime Territory. We have an X account. Don't really do much with it. Yeah, but we are on there. And I think that's it. Oh, DM us DM the X if you want a sticker.
Yep. Or send us some message somewhere, and eventually I'll see it, and I'll mail you a sticker. I've got a lot of them still. I handed some out when I went and played Twilight Imperium with some friends from college.
You need to start tagging them.
I thought about doing that when I went on vacation to New Zealand, but then I'm like, I don't want to be...
You'd have to find a wall that already has it.
Yeah, I'd have to find a place where people are like, yeah, you can put your sticker here. Nobody gives a shit. That's the thing. But I will bring some with me when I go to vacation in Scotland if I find anything like that where I can tag it. But the thing is, there's no identifying information. There's just the name and the cityscape. Yeah. So they'd have to know that it's a podcast or something, or go look on YouTube. But otherwise we ruin the quality of the sticker by putting information on it.
Yeah. Nobody wants a QR code on that.
Yeah. Maybe a nice little QR code in the corner wouldn't have been so bad. But then I would have had to figure out how to make a QR code.
Yeah. That seems overcomplicated for us.
I could probably figure it out. It's probably not hard. There's probably a website I can go to and say, here's the link, give me the QR code, please. And then it gives you one. But you are now leaving the anime territory.
Goodbye.